Hey, good afternoon, everybody. And we have a report of another pneumonia death. And Jen got up this morning. She's been contemplating this story. And you found some suspicious elements. But before we get to that, let me just give the guys the basics. Because the headline here is that J-Lo breaks her silence after hairstylist Jesus Guerrero's shocking death at age 34. It's no surprise your mother gave you the name Jesus, as in Jesus. You were gentle and kind and loving, quiet and unassuming, but so powerful, and your presence was felt the minute you walked into any room. She wrote on her Instagram on Tuesday, "You never demanded the spotlight. You never needed to make a sound to be recognized. Your heart and your talent did that as effortlessly as your artistry did," she continued. "I've been having trouble putting together the last few days. The truth is, I'm still in shock that such a beautiful young life has come to an end. It seems senseless and unfair. I know your family is broken-hearted, as am I, and everyone else who knew you. Your spirit moved on to the next phase beyond this life. But I know wherever you are, there is beauty and light, and the beauty and light you left here will live on forever. Rest in peace, sweet angel." She ended the note showing a black and white image of Jesus.
Beautiful words. Beautiful words from someone who just left him in Dubai. It's stunning. Heart-wrenching.
And left the family having to beg to pay for his funeral.
It is tragic, is the only word I can think to describe this whole situation. Is she's flown this poor guy who apparently wasn't feeling we don't know. He started to feel ill when he was away in Dubai. So she flew him out to do her hair extensions while she's on tour out there, which was the 18th and 20th of this month. And then as soon as she was done with him, he said he was feeling ill. And instead of flying him back with her and her team, she left him there. And that's what all the reports are saying. It's absolutely tragic. And the poor guy flew back to LA where he later passed. And I mean, he's 34 and to die from pneumonia is pretty shocking in itself. But a lot of people were sort of pointing to the fact that he was over in Dubai at the time, that would have been a problem. But Dubai has some of the best healthcare in the world. Like it's mental for the millionaires and billionaires in Dubai. And obviously he's with J-Lo and her team. He's not exactly going to be slumming it. Like, it's shocking how it has got to this point. It's really suspect. I woke up this morning. I read her tribute at 3 o'clock this morning when I got up to use the bathroom. That's when I was doing most of my thinking. And I seen that tribute pop up on my Instagram feed, and I thought, something isn't right about this. Call it my third eye, my spidey senses, whatever. And I thought, I've got to tell Sean about this in the morning. I then went on to, and I didn't know much about him before. I'm sorry, I don't follow celebrity hairstylists. So I then went on to his Instagram and did a bit of research. This is at 3 a.m. So I'm half asleep, going on to Jesus's Instagram feed and reading some of the comments from his latest post. And everyone's commenting on there how suspicious it is, about how J-Lo's left him there, how he's, that's her responsibility. She should be paying for or getting him back to Houston, not his sister setting up a GoFundMe page to get $80,000 together to fly him back to Houston. It's ridiculous. But it's the whole thing of, it seems to me, and it seems really sus to me. I said to Sean, the one thing, I said, who does a woman go to tell all her secrets? And Sean was like, her best mate. And I was like, no, she goes to her hairdresser. My hairdresser could literally write the book on me. You tell, as a woman, and it could be for a man as well. I don't know what your barber trips are like, but obviously non-existent for you, Sean. But when I go to the hairdresser, she knows everything about me, all my secrets, what I'm going through at that moment. And especially one that works quite closely with celebrities. They're following you around these different areas and events, and they're meeting all the other different celebrities and seeing all these other different situations. My gut feeling is telling me he knew too much.
So, point of order, real quick on that, Jen. You never complimented me when I came home from the Turkish barbers today.
I didn't even know. When did you compliment me? I have to tell you, it's only because you got in your diary. You're like, Jen's hairdressing appointment. You're like, oh, your hair looks fab. You can't even tell. I came home, right? This is all extensions. These hold tons of secrets, right? I came home without these extensions in. My hair's like that short. Came home, I was like, do you notice anything? He's like, no. It was half the hair. I'd had no hair in. And he was like, no.
Anyway, the point is that according to Jen, you tell your hairdresser everything. I wouldn't know. I don't have a hairdresser properly. But this guy's gone now, and who knows what he knew. Let me just continue the story because it is quite sad. It was one of the Kardashians, wasn't it, ended up picking up the bill when J-Lo...
Kylie Jenner. So Kylie Jenner and him had a really tight relationship. He's all over Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian's Instagram feeds of doing their hair. He is a celeb hairstylist to the likes of Katy Perry, Dua Lipa, can never pronounce her name, Dua Lipa, and all the rest. So, but he's particularly close with the Kardashian clan. So I've like you mentioned though, the bill was only picked up by Kylie Jenner once the media started paying attention to this story. It wasn't, she would have known about this. I mean, he passed on Sunday. She would have known Monday, and she didn't offer. Instead, his sister set up the GoFundMe on Monday instead. So there was no private phone call to the family then. It's only been since the media picked up this story. It's a bit suspect there. Did he know too much about the Kardashians, Jenner crew? Did he know too much about J-Lo? Did he just know too much? 34, pneumonia on a trip to Dubai, where there is some of the best healthcare in the world in Dubai.
The amount of money these people are worth, there should have been no GoFundMe done by the family in the first place. It's a drop in the bucket to them.
J-Lo should have picked up that bill. If somebody, right, hypothetically, if you're, of J-Lo status and you've got, a few mils sat in the bank, someone comes to work with you, you fly them across the country or the world, and they pass away. Are you not thinking, right, I'm going to, spend a bit of my money to get this guy home safe and cover the funeral costs because he did get sick when he was doing my hair, doing my weave? No, it's disgusting. I swear the family might have a case on their hands. Isn't there some sort, I mean, I'm no lawyer, but where someone dies or is injured during work, like workforce legislation or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some kinds of liability.
That's it.
So we're gonna in this broadcast, we're also gonna go over I'm going to do a recap of all the suspicious deaths around Diddy, some of which are related to pneumonia. But I'll continue with this article, and then we'll get Jen's thoughts, because I think Jen's channeling the spirit of Jesus right now. She woke up with the spirit of Jesus. He's got stuff to tell us.
Honestly, I didn't even know who he was till 3 o'clock this morning, and I was like, Jesus is trying to tell me something. He's trying to tell the world something. He's not going in vain. So
J-Lo tagged her glam team last Wednesday, February 19th, while on a business trip to Dubai and the UAE. She tagged her makeup, her glam team with Jesus tagged as he was doing her hair during the trip. She performed at the Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai on February 18th, and then Thursday, February 20, and Friday, February 21st at Saadiyat Nights in Abu Dhabi. But it is unknown if he did her hair for those nights. Maybe he was deteriorating by then. Jesus died one day later, suddenly and unexpectedly, according to his sister, Grace, with no cause of death released as of yet for the 34-year-old. But it's suspected pneumonia, isn't it? It is with a heavy heart that we let the world know that Jesus Guerrero has gone to heaven. He is a son, a brother, an uncle, an artist, a friend, and so much more, his sister Grizz wrote on his GoFundMe. Born and raised in Houston, Texas, to immigrant parents, Jesus learned how to work hard and dreamt of taking his skills to the top. Unfortunately, his passing came very suddenly and unexpectedly. Currently, his family is taking care of his personal belongings and accommodation to bring him home to Houston. We hope that you find it in your heart to help in any way and or share this GoFundMe. So the family begging to cover the costs when he's working for these high flyers.
High rollers.
That's really sad. His sister shared 2 updates on Tuesday on the GoFundMe, revealing that Kylie Jenner offered to cover the funeral expenses as well as her help and support. Gris wrote, when this GoFundMe was set up, we created it thinking we would have to take care of all the expenses ourselves. We didn't want to burden any clients with this. Our family deeply appreciates Kylie for later, once the media got a hold of it, offering to cover funeral expenses and offering up all her help and support. But at least she did step up, whereas it doesn't appear that JLo has stepped up at all when he was with her when he got ill. Donations, you could probably say that if he hadn't been out there, he wouldn't have caught whatever he caught, and he would still be alive right now. Donations raised through this fundraiser will go towards the costs associated with securing his belongings home, as well as other unexpected expenses to settle his assets. With his death being so unexpected, there are many things that weren't set up for a time like this. The next several months will have many hoops we will have to jump through to ensure we honor him in the best way we can. Our mother will be taking time off to ensure that everything gets taken care of and so that she can grieve properly, because a mother should never have to buy her child. A mother should never have to buy her child. Oh, bury, it's a spelling mistake. Yeah. We truly appreciate everyone's support. Thank you. And then they closed the GoFundMe and they've raised $96,000 with Jenna sharing a statement, sharing the page, and offering to pay. So that was good. But where's JLo in all of this?
Do you know what? That's what I thought when I was flicking through TikTok. Everyone seems to be focusing on Kylie Jenner, and they're not focusing on the woman he was sat with, like, while this was all going on. And that's what I find really suspicious. I find it quite sad as well. And I don't feel and this is my kind of psychic Jen self coming out. I don't feel this is anything to do with Kylie Jenner, like what the TikTok reporters, so we might call them right now, are saying. I think it's sad, obviously. I just want to say this. I think it's sad we live in a world where somebody pays for a funeral and they just get suspect thrown at them, because that seems to be more and more popular. But yeah, I don't see much in the way. When I was checking the newspapers this morning, I didn't see anything in any of the mainstream media mentioning that he had been on tour with Jennifer Lopez. Surely that is, that's a real information hotspot there. But it was like it was being covered up, like it was being ignored. Like it's getting brushed under the rug here. And let's not forget who JLo's ex-partner is. Come on. And all of their friends dying of pneumonia suddenly. It just doesn't sit well with me.
Lisa B has made an allegation here. Ben Affleck broke up with JLo because he found out she was doing spells on him. Have you heard anything about that, Jen?
I know she's into her witchery, as is a lot of them. Like, we could, I'd probably be able to sit here and reel off the celebrities who aren't into witchcraft rather than the ones who are, like the Kardashians, Beyonce, probably Oprah herself. She hasn't admitted it though. But yeah, she probably did do a spell on them, or tried to do a spell on Ben Affleck.
I'll continue the article then. This is what Kylie wrote. Jesus was more than my friend. He was a light in my life, a source of laughter, comfort, love, and unwavering support. I don't know how I would have made it through the last almost decade without him by my side. Oh my God, they do get close to the hairdressers, Jen, don't they?
I forgot. I just heard as well, the agency who's this worked for, which was promoted on his Instagram, I don't know if it's still there, they mysteriously had another celebrity hairdresser has died. with the same agency recently. There's been 3 hairdressers in total, but 2 with this specific agency. They're out for the hairdressers now. They're going for everyone.
It's like Obama and the Clintons with the chefs. Let me continue.
It's gonna be the makeup artist next. I tell you.
She didn't know how she would have made it almost a decade without him by my side. He had a way of making even the heaviest days feel lighter. Thank you, Jesus, for always being there for me, for lifting me up, for being my friend. Your words, your laughter, your kindness, your beautiful spirit will live in my heart forever. I'll cherish all our moments together, every laugh and hug. I wish I could hug you again. I laid in your bed, what? The way you used to lay in mine, talking for hours. Did they get that close?
Yeah. You've got to understand that these celebrities don't have real friends around them. They become incredibly close to their makeup artists, their clothing entourage, their hairdressers. They're who are these celebrities like inner circle. It's not, how I have my mates around, they come around, they hang out, and they're just genuinely friends. They do not provide a service when they're here. They don't start chopping away at my hair or choosing my clothes. Like these people, that's all they have. So they are their inner circle. And it's funny how this inner circle's dispersing and dying off.
It doesn't seem fair, Jen. My Turkish barber, he won't lay in bed with me for hours on end, talking to me and comforting me and listening, hanging on my every word. It's
oh man,
two-tier hairdressing. All right, so let me continue this. I laid in your bed the way you used to lay in mine, talking for hours. I would give anything for one more deep talk. Turkish barber's face keeps coming into my head for some reason. I'm going to miss you so much, more than any words can say. 222, my angel. Jenna also shared a montage of photos reflecting on happy times the pair had shared. The pain of losing you is just unbearable, and I don't know how to move forward without you, but I know great grief is born only of great love. And I loved you so much. You were the best person with a talent that was unmatched, a true artist. You inspired so many, and you always will. And he was hired by her in 2019. Kylie spent much of Sunday comforting members of Guerrero's family, which is why her famous boyfriend, Timothy, took his mother, Nicole, to the SAG Awards, where he won the Best Actor trophy for A Complete Unknown. The son of immigrant parents also handled the tresses of celebs like Katy Perry, Rosalia, Demi Moore, Charlie XCX, Camila Cabello, Dua Lipa, Lisa, Jessica Alba. Shame.
You can tell Sean's totally not into like pop culture music or R&B or anything. He's just not. He's straight up German house music, like progressive house, EDM. Anything outside of that, he just can't pronounce their names. Like, I'd love you to pronounce
true crime. So following news of his death, Kylie's makeup artist, Ariel, posted a lengthy tribute on Instagram. And posting a selection of snapshots from their friendship, he wrote, "Last night I experienced the most painful, breathtaking pain I have ever felt when I found out you left us. Family is not always just assigned at birth. Sometimes they are chosen, and you are my chosen family. I told you this many times before. I don't know how I could have done the past 10 years of this journey without you," to which you would always reply saying, "I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else. And now that you're gone, I'm unsure how I will continue the same without you. You are my anchor, my rock. In every room we were magic together. We in sync on a level that only you and I will ever comprehend. You were a safe haven for me that gave me a push to be the best version of myself in every room we were in together. More than a friend, you were my brother. There's a lot to learn from Jesus, not only his insane talent, of which most of you have come to know him for, but also his humility, compassion, resilience, drive, love for life, and all the good and happiness he brought into every room he walked in, and every life he impacted with his brilliant soul." So Kim and Khloe Kardashian shared heartfelt tributes to Guerrero. On Monday, both took to Insta with sad notes honoring the Glam team member. Our Glam fam means the world to us. We work together, vacation, and celebrate our lives together. So they even take them on holiday with them, Jen.
Yeah, they're the Glam Squad. Sean, when I am super famous, I will have like this team. I will have this team of like, I'll have the hairdresser, the makeup artist, and they just constantly make you look like 24/7 fabulous. Like I can imagine that's why they must prep your hair for bed so it's fabulous the next morning. Like I don't know how much these people earn, but I can imagine it's a pretty penny because they're there 24/7. Like, it's not like a hairdresser. Like I go to the hairdresser every 6 weeks, right? I go there, I have a fantastic 3-hour appointment, I come home. No, this is like every time they've got to make themselves presentable, which being a celebrity, especially a high profile one like J-Lo or Kim Kardashian or Kylie Jenner, they need to look amazing 24/7. That's it's part of their business. That's who they are. And they're doing photo shoots daily. They're doing stuff. So these people are with them 24/7.
Well, the only reason they'll be coming on holiday with us, Jen, is to put my anti-head shine on. That's the only use for these makeup artists because you're so naturally beautiful. You don't need any kind of makeup enhancements.
Sean's trying to get some or something. I don't know.
Get some what?
Like, God knows.
Can you elaborate?
No elaboration needed.
Get you to put a nut roast in the oven. Is that what you're saying?
Quite possibly. But no, it's just so tragic though that this, 34, that's not even halfway through your life. And he's just like that. Here's what the
Kardashians said then. Our great respect for the art of hair and makeup has led us to meeting some of the kindest souls and made some of our bestest friends. So when one of our Glam fam members passes, all of our souls are crushed. Kim brought up her younger half-sister Kylie. My heart breaks for Kylie and everyone who loved Jesus the way we all did. I'm praying for his family, his loved ones, and the whole beauty community who feels the deep loss of one of the most talented and kindest to ever do it. Rest in peace. Jessica Alba paid tribute to her late friend in a social media post. All right, so there are a number of crazy deaths surrounding Diddy.
Well, I thank you for the comment, Charlotte Tweedy. I picked up on this suddenly and unexpectedly. If it was true pneumonia, surely he would have been poorly for a few days, if not weeks beforehand. Yeah.
He started to deteriorate in Dubai, and didn't J-Lo just leave him there?
Do my hair, mate. You're not here to be sick. Do my hair. Cruel. But she has been known to be a diva on set time and time again, that woman. She is like renowned for, it's all about me. And that's might be what makes her who she is, this wonderful woman today.
People are speculating as to whether I'm trying to get hair extensions or booty. Anyway, back to the story. Getting distracted here with impure thoughts. All right, so put a 1 in the chat if you want me to do a recap of all of the strange deaths surrounding Diddy. Put a 2 in the chat if you've heard that quite enough, and then we can get Jen's reaction to these deaths. Getting the 1s in. You know what, Nicole? I brought that up with Jen earlier today.
Yeah.
We got to be careful about discussing the jabs. But it seems that people who have had that have become a hell of a lot more vulnerable to. Looks like they all want your reactions to the mysterious deaths around Diddy, Jen. And as you're in quite a perky mood today, I can't wait to hear this. So let's start with. We'll go with Andre.
Yeah, we can call the show. Did he do it? Yes or no? Right. So you've got that same story. Right.
So
Let's do this.
as I'm describing each one, if you think Diddy did it, put a 666 in the chat. What's a nice number, Jen, to put in the chat if you think he didn't do it?
The angel numbers Kylie mentioned 222.
222. So 666 if you think Diddy is linked to it. Let's say these are just allegations, speculations. I'm not saying Diddy off these people. We're saying there's linkage there. 666. They're already 666.
They're already getting excited for the 666.
If you think Diddy has no linkage, then 222. So we've got Andre Harrell and Heavy D. Diddy's former mentors died while allegedly writing tell-alls. No motive there, folks. Andre Harrell founded Uptown Records in 1986. 4 years later, 20-year-old Diddy interned for the label. Andre eventually hired Diddy as an A&R exec, who is known for helping develop the careers of Jodeci. Jodeci? I can't even say it. Anyway, Father MC and Mary J. Blige. Diddy was fired from the company in 1993 because he was very passionate and I didn't understand protocol or workplace politics. So I got fired because there can't be two kings in one castle. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to Andre, but I was fighting so hard, Diddy told Oprah. And then Andre died of heart failure in 2020. 9 years before that, another signee from Uptown Records, Heavy D, was found dead after collapsing outside of his home in Beverly Hills. Jaguar Wright has noted that all the survivors and the lates of the label were all writing tell-all books at the time of their health battles and death. Jag questioned the series of events in 2022, nearly a year before Cassie filed her SA lawsuit. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? Jag said. He must be the luckiest MF because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning are gone. Just
change that.
Cassie also feared for her life when she was dating Diddy. She was, quote, held down by Mr. Combs. Oops. My internet just got smashed.
They're on to us.
Are we still live? We're still live? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something just really weird happened then. All right, Jen, what's your reaction to that one while I try and restore this article?
Am I confusing Heavy D with someone else? But did we not? And you'll have to go back and watch this if you can't remember. Tug of War mentioned Heavy D in one of his interviews. One of the first interviews I did with you.
Oh, yeah, you are right.
I'm always right. It's my
so right. Yes. What a good memory you've got.
Yeah, 100% Diddy.
Yeah. Diddy linkage, let's just say. Not Diddy did it. Just linkage.
There's linkage. All right. Linkage is the word.
Cassie feared for her life when she was dating Diddy. She was held down by Diddy and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands, according to the documents she filed to the federal court in New York City. All aspects of her life were controlled. Diddy famously settled the lawsuit. And then you've got Kim's lost words, in which her new boyfriend dies of pneumonia, and then she goes on to die of pneumonia, according to the book, that is. So, Kim Porter, Kim's ex-husband, claimed that Diddy was responsible for her death. All right, Kim Porter, guys, is that a 666 or a 222?
666.
They were together from 2003 to 2007. The relationship started in the 90s after her divorce from Albie Shaw in 1990. The I Want to Work for Diddy star raised Kim and Al's son Quincy Taylor Brown as his own and ended up adopting him. In 2018, Kim suddenly died of pneumonia, but Jag Wright has alleged that she was poisoned, as have many other people. Coroner's report said that it was ruled homicide and they found toxins in Kim's body to prove that she had been poisoned, Jag alleged. In July 2020, Albie wrote on Instagram, I do know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. That's some BS. This is where I get in trouble. And then Jag said she found it suspicious that Albie was suddenly hospitalized and had fallen into a 2-month coma in 2022. So when TMZ asked Albie about the raid of Diddy's home, he said he was glad his son wasn't around at the time and that he was working on the life story and the way I got to be in a coma. Stay tuned. He revealed there was evidence linking Diddy to Kim's death. Albie wrote on Instagram, Kim was allegedly taken from us because she was set on course to accomplish what Mrs. Cassie Ventura did by igniting the bonfire, which brings us here today. He informed fans that Kim's missing devices, allegedly already in evidence, unquestionably contain critical evidence that has been concealed, but corroborates closely with details outlined in the recently released public indictment document. I think we were all 666s on that one, Jen. What's your thoughts?
666. Like that's probably the most obvious case, like of all the ones you're going to read. That one, 100%.
Well, here's an interesting one that's linked to Diddy.
Let me go.
And that one is Whitney Houston. Do you know about this one?
Right. Read it out, and I'll be the judge of this.
Well, it's not completely direct. It's like, how many people does it take to know a person? Levels of linkage. So Diddy allegedly learned from Whitney's ex-producer, Clive Davis. According to Gene Deal, the music exec's alleged crimes are all his doing and behavior learned from people who mentored him, like Andre Harrell, Russell Simmons, Clive Davis, who's hugely credited for Whitney Houston's stardom. Gene's statement sparked speculation about whether Clive or even Diddy was responsible for Whitney's accidental drowning in 2012. The day before the Grammys, Clive famously continued his pre-Grammy party just hours after finding out about her Whitney's death. And Jaguar writers claimed that Ray J knowingly left Whitney alone in the hotel room with her dealer the day she unalived. The day before Whitney's death, Ray J tweeted a photo of him with Clive on X, then Twitter captioned, "I'm with Clive Davis helping with the party tomorrow night."
Allegedly.
The exec's then inappropriate choice has now been labeled suspicious, especially after Clive recently said, "Who?" when asked about Diddy's recent controversies. Some say it's old age, but others are convinced that he's terrified that the truth might come out, per an insider's recent claim. and that's that one. But Lionel last night said, like we've got the pending release of Epstein files.
Yeah. How
people like Bill Clinton now are going down the Sicilian flu route, whereby, Clinton files, who's Clinton? Bit of drool coming out the mouth.
I'm very ill at the moment. Yeah. I'm going into the hospital early.
So you got Leslie Wexner, you got Clive, you got a lot of these octogenarians joining the Sicilian flu club, according to
Have you noticed what people have? I like this, Jens. Have you noticed that people are predicting that the death of our dear Pope, or the Vatican City Pope, will be announced on the day of Epstein? He's already dead. This is the new conspiracy theory, that the Pope's already dead, and it's going to be announced on the day the Epstein list comes out, just for a distraction.
And I was listening to Candace Owens earlier, and she was talking about one of her favorite books, and it says a huge strategy for Hollywood and the news is just flood the news with a story, and it overwhelms the human brain. Psychologists have looked at this. It overwhelms the human brains, and people just start believing that narrative because it's everywhere. It's all around. It's everywhere. It reminded me when Candace said that of Tony Blair and George Bush. It was just every single news station. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. He's coming for us, folks. You know, we've got to take this, we've got to do a preemptive strike. And even when I was in the gym today, I was watching this advertisement for the BBC on the screen when I was on the tread. And the BBC's putting this thing out, and they show a montage of conspiracy theorists, Alex Jones, etc., and all these like hyped up conspiracy theory headlines. And then it goes to all of these BBC reporters around the world reporting from war zones, saying, look, we're putting our lives on the line. We are people you can trust, folks. Come to us. We'll swallow your souls. We'll recommend never-ending wars, bombing the poorest countries of the world. Profits, endless profits for the military-industrial complex. Yeah, anyway.
Guys, that is a fly on the wall of mine and Sean's dinner time, sat on the table, I'm relaxing. Been a long day, and I've got this, that, there.
My point being, absolute propaganda BS the BBC is putting out right now. While I was watching this propaganda video, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, run by PDF files and a tool of the globalists. So there's two more on this list. Jen, let's get your reaction to them. We have got Biggie Smalls.
This is so much better than couples therapy, FYI.
Diddy capitalized on Biggie's death. While Diddy wasn't directly linked to the shooting of Biggie, fans found it suspicious that the hitmaker was reportedly planning on leaving Bad Boy Records just before he was unalived. Biggie was absolutely about to leave Puff. I know for a fact because he told me that. That's according to hip-hop photographer Monique Bum in the Rolling Stone. And then Eminem's shady edition of his song Fuel links Diddy to the murders of Tupac and Biggie. So who'll be picked next? Whose name's going to be next up? Notorious Big's death was the domino effect of Tupac's murder. Like facial tissue, whose clock shall I clean next? Puff's? Rolling Stone expose stated that Diddy capitalized on the shock and sorrow of Biggie passing. As it turned out, Bad Boy was tapped by the magazine for a posthumous cover of the late rapper months after the tragedy. But the alleged Diddy was like, no, he's dead. I'm putting out Diddy's debut album, No Way Out, in July. I need to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. That's per the label's then president and co-founder, Kirk Burroughs. So are we going to have a 666 or a 222 on Biggie Diddy linkage, folks?
666. Is on that list Old Dirty B? I won't say his surname.
No, the last one. There's only one left, and then I'm going to have to jump in the car.
Yeah, I've just
get Ziggy. Can anyone guess who the next one, the next death linked to Diddy is that we've not discussed so far in this video? Can anyone guess that in the live chat, folks? Let's see. Craig Mack, Liam Payne. No, it's linked. It's linked to the. Eleanor got it. Tupac, indeed. So number one, Tupac's family has hired a lawyer to investigate Diddy's ties to his death. They hired Alex Spiro to investigate Diddy's involvement in the unaliving. The attorney has previously represented Alec Baldwin, Elon Musk, Jay-Z, etc. This comes 16 years after ex-gang leader Keefe D told the LAPD that Diddy offered him $1 million. Diddy has, of course, denied the allegations. The story is a lie. Neither I nor the late Big had any knowledge of any attack on Tupac before, during, or after it happened. And then this says Keefe D isn't the accused gunman in the rapper's drive-by shooting, but the shot caller for the group that committed the crime. That's according to celebrity deaths linked to Diddy on thethings.com. So that's the last one. Jen, any thoughts? We're going 666.
Like, again, and there's we need a longer list, because I swear there's loads more. It's almost like anyone who knows too much is just not around anymore. They're not with us. But it seems to be like I was thinking earlier and feeling into it earlier, and I was like, are they, or whoever they may be, let's like allegedly they may be, are they? Do they know that people? Do they give a hoot that they know that people know that they're doing this, or they've done this, that they've potentially, allegedly poisoned these people? Like,
Well,
I was
there's a theory that they know we know a lot of these things, like the unaliving of Jeffrey. And there's a class of people who are so untouchable and
they don't
arrogant.
care.
They sometimes they taunt you and just even drop clues and rub it in your face. You know, like serial killers leave clues. They get more aggressive and they leave clues over time.
Yeah.
So that there might be an element of that, the fact that they are such an untouchable class. They think, I mean, the likes of Elon and Trump are turning this all around on their heads now. All these smug people who thought that the Epstein list wouldn't come out, they're all having nightmares now if they're on this client list, because higher powers than them now, the president of the United States. It's the same with calling out Keir Starmer on the war on Ukraine. He never thought the American government would call him out, because the American government has been controlled by the globalists for decades. Look at the internet, Clinton, crime families, in and out for decades. And all of a sudden, they're getting outed by powers that are above them, which leads into one other thing. At 8 p.m. tonight, which is in just over 3 hours, I've got a lady coming on who was a victim of the grooming gangs and was R-worded by over 70 men, folks.
Wow.
So if you want to hear that story in just over 3 hours, please come back. I've got to go and pick Ziggy up now. But my question for the viewers is, do you like these joint broadcasts that me and Jen have done today? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see me and Jen bouncing banter and true crime and entertainment stories.
Don't use that word banter. Honestly, that is my biggest turn off. Banter. There's another word, I can't say it online. Banter. Moist. Anything. But
what words can I say, Jen?
I'll just leave on this one then. My finish is, I really enjoyed Lionel last night, and when he turned around and you were asking him about what Elon and Trump are up to at the moment, and his response was so spot on when he was like, thing is, they've tried to unalive him 3 times now, and it's almost like he's saying, right, you've had your go, I'm just going to expose all you 3-letter agencies, or you like the top of the spider, like the inner, of the spider web, at the top of the pyramid, you are getting exposed. I absolutely, truly believe that this is what's happening now. And situations that may or may not be suspicious around hairdressers, the inner circle, the glam squad, will be exposed. People will be exposed. All these unusual sudden deaths will be exposed if there is wrongdoing.
And I said to him, well, doesn't Trump risk getting JFK because he's gone beyond JFK now? Right. And Lionel's response was, they're already coming for him. They want to unalive him. He knows that, so he's just letting them have it.
Yeah, because he's coming up to his 80s now. He don't give a hoot. I mean, obviously, you don't want to go sooner than perhaps planned, but yeah.
I mean, I'm apolitical, Jen, but reading books about political history and war and David Icke, the pictures in the David Icke book showing the cluster bombs and the depleted uranium and the damage done on the domestic populations, and Trump saying that he looked at the photos of the battlefields in Ukraine and all these young men dying senselessly. I want to stop that. What could be more important than that in the world? The lives of innocent young men being chewed up by the meat grinder for Zelensky and BlackRock and the oligarchs and all these other people trying to carve that country up for its natural resources while blood sacrificing over 1 million young people. And Trump is trying to stop that. And that is phenomenal. I think if you could
And
stop
you
people.
just ask them what's more important to them.
Yeah,
It's all
money
down
is
to
more
that.
important. Zelensky with he's paying himself 10 million, over 10 million a month. He's got properties all over the world, but he's going to end up on the run, I reckon. His karma is coming to him, and my heart goes out to the people of Ukraine who've been manipulated. This whole thing could have been shut down years ago, but Boris Johnson went in there and scuppered it, and now Keir Starmer is trying to double down. And he's trying to send our boys to die over there because they're running out of boys to die over there. And that is absolutely disgusting. That's pure evil as far as I'm concerned.
I love your passion, babes.
Thank you. I see the lust has come back into your eyes.
On that note.
Much love and respect.